I'll bring you over here. All right, so I went ahead, bought myself a nice, well, affordable, we'll call it, router table. And I put a router in there. I have a hand router, and then I have this router. So the bottom line is that we're going to run all those through there because we have to cut an edge into the walls of that thing. And we need a 3/8 by 3/4 cut into those walls of the hive so that these can sit on them. All right, so we'll see how that works. It'll be something new item here. First thing is, with these wide boards, we don't need these. And definitely, we need to take small cuts at a time. So we're going to move this thing in. So last night I put that together and I practiced. So this is the shape of what it's going to be, and these are going to sit right here. Perfect. So that's the plan. So let's see what we get when we run these things through. So the first one we need to run is the pattern. So a couple things we want to figure out is which edge do we want the cut to be on. So all these boards tend to have a little bit of a bow. And if you put them like this, if they both bow in 1/4 of an inch, the frames won't fit in there. So you have to put them like this. So you got to sight down them and see if you can see any bowing. I don't see any in this one. This one doesn't matter. So I also hooked up a 5-gallon vacuum to the back, so there's hardly any dust, which is nice. Because the last time I did this, just building that one hive, there was just mountains of dust everywhere from saws and from the thing. So hang tight, go to the restroom, and we'll get this done. All right, so the depth of the cut, because the board's gonna lay flat, needs to be exactly 3/8 of an inch. I wanna check that. That's 3/8 of an inch. Yep. All right. And it needs to be, so it's going to be just like this one here. So we're going to cut 3/8 of an inch in depth, 3/4 of an inch in width. So we'll have to cut it a couple times to do that. So hold your ears. It's going to be a little loud. All right. So that's what we got so far. Camera keeps moving. It's hard to see it without having something in the background. Anyway, so bottom line, we are exactly 3/8 depth. So now we need to go in, and I ran it through twice just to clean it up, because the first cut, you can feel a lot of resistance, and it just wanted to clean it up. The other thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna raise this thing a little bit. A lot of resistance on that. All right. So there's actually a measurement gauge in there. So currently, we are about 3/8 by 3/8. So we need to move it back about 3/8 more. That'll give us 3/4. I'm not going to go that far this one cut. We'll go 1/4. So on a production run, I would have done all those boards, but this is my pattern. So I'm just kind of making sure I got everything right. And then once I'm done, I'll go back to the beginning and I'll start running those all at one time, and then I'll adjust it and run them all at one time, because I'm all about the process here. So I got to get it done faster. That's how you make money. Right at 3/4 of an inch. All right, so we're going to move it back and start running them all, including the back side of my pattern. So again, this is just a pattern for samples. So I'll move this back out, start over. I'm liking this table. I just clamped it to my fold-up table that goes up on the wall. Cheers. Okay. All right, so what I just did there for 4 hives was about, I don't know, a tenth of the time it took me to do that one hive 2 pieces. So I did 8 pieces that fast. It was amazing. So purchase well bought. This was a good idea. So anyway, it's time for lunch. See here. All right, I got my clicker and I'm signing out for lunch. Hey everyone, got back from lunch. I actually did a little bit. My phone was dead. That's my camera. So I let it charge for a while. So I went ahead and excelled through this build a little bit. So I cut a whole bunch of strips. One of the reasons why I did them without you guys watching me is I have to open up my garage door to shoot all the scrap outside and all the sawdust and everything. And it's about 20, so I was in a big hurry and I didn't want to have to mess around with the camera. So anyway, so I built or cut a whole bunch of 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch pieces. You're gonna see what we use these for later. We're gonna use those to put the screen in the bottom of the board. So the other thing I did was I took all the sides and ends and cut a 9/16 by 9/16 slot in them with my Bosch router table, and router. Basically that 1/2 inch dowel is going to fit into this 9/16 by 9/16, but the screen is going to be wrapped around it so that it's nice and taut. So that's the difference in the 1/16 of an inch is the thickness of the screen. So where we're at right now, about ready to start gluing this up and screwing it together. So let's get after it. Remember how to use these things. So these are clamps that hold everything nice and square. Definitely need to do both ends at one time to get this thing lifted up. A couple little blocks.
Alright, we're getting somewhere now.
Need a little help on this one. All right, that's one down. All right, here's the big test. Yeah. They fit.